What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Crown Cinema Podcast. In this episode, we literally just watched Full Metal Jacket. Wow.
Oh my God.
That's your first time, too.
Yeah.
Pretty fucked up. Pretty fucked up movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it sure is. How many times have you seen it?
3? It's probably my third time watching it.
Oh my God.
Well, again, because like we were talking about
So-
before we started recording, the beginning is fun to watch. It's funny. And I was even going to bring this point up. It's like, it almost resembles kind of the Vietnam War with how the story's structured and how the story unfolds, because the beginning of the movie, it starts off funny. We're laughing. The drill sergeant's hilarious. All the shit he's saying is really funny. So it's like serious, but it's lighthearted where it's like jokey, where like you think about like the war in Vietnam, people generally think like war, good, we're fighting for freedom, rah, rah, you know, but then when you start to realize what was happening in Vietnam, then it's like, wait, that's pretty fucked up. And then in this, you know, that first story, same exact thing. It starts from fun to really fucked up. And also the second story starts kind of fun with him like, you know, taunting and teasing the prostitute, and then it goes down into like this fucked up storyline. So like it tricks you both times where it's like fun, you know, greeting you in, it's like fun war movie, and then it's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. I do like that approach. The way he took that, because I mean, it's just, if you ever thought about joining the military and you were kind of on the fence about it. Yeah, I was going to say I sound a little low.
Yeah, I got you.
You're kind of on the fence about it. I think I would assume this and Saving Private Ryan, you really want to know like how bad this gets.
Right.
Because I think this movie shows, like, I think there's just a lot of people that are just born to be soldiers.
Right.
I think this movie just captures that perfectly. I mean, there are guys that are clearly having like kind of fun with the whole thing. I mean, they're able to joke about it. Like, they're doing some really messed up stuff. First off, so going into this movie, I've heard of the name of this movie, and that is all I've heard. I had no idea what it was about. I had no idea how long it was. Like, I didn't know the cast. I didn't even know who the director was.
Wow.
I knew.
So you went in just full blind.
I knew nothing. So yeah, like that's how I can confirm like what you're saying as far as like the director's approach.
You went in like these Marines did when they first signed up for boot camp.
Right. They're just like, this will be, you know,
I'll fight for my country.
Honest to God, I didn't even know it was a war movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like Full Metal Jacket, like I assumed
Something with
guns.
Right, yeah.
You know, but no, I had no idea what we were getting into. And then like they're like, at one point I even looked at you and I said, yeah, like if this is what the whole movie's going to be, like if it's just a bunch of guys in basic training getting fucked on by a drill sergeant, like I could watch it. This is funny.
Right.
I'm having a really good time.
It is really funny. The beginning is hilarious. Like the insults are hilarious.
It's just me and my boy on a couch, like watching a movie, and we're just laughing about like how good these insults are. And I was like, this is really creative stuff. And like I've seen plenty of war movies where like you see how hard it is to like be a good drill sergeant.
Right.
This guy definitely takes the cake.
When you think drill sergeant, that's the image you get.
Dude, and honest to God, he even looked like something you would see out of a newspaper cartoon.
Right.
Like he looked like that, like just his eyes, like how they kind of like super wide and just
he's short but stout and loud and fucking in your face.
Yeah, and you could tell he's not like in like the best shape. Like he's clearly there because he's just very loud and, you know, proud.
Yeah.
He's just good with his words. I mean, I wonder if they do like actual auditions for being a drill sergeant in real life military.
I bet if you're like quiet, not aggressive, it just wouldn't work.
I think you have to like,
because you got to be the toughest son of a bitch in the crew, because you're training men that are tough and think of themselves tough, and you have to be the one that molds them to be killing machines. Like that's his whole job, is to mold these men to become just killing machines for the Marines.
Yeah.
So you got to be just fucking just like the
dude.
man.
Yeah. So, okay. So I want to start doing this for every podcast because I feel like we have been getting a lot of complaints.
Okay.
There's going to be spoilers in this movie. So if you haven't watched this movie, you need to stop right now. I think we used to do that a lot at the beginning.
Yeah.
We need to get back to it, I guess.
My thought, though, is if it's an older movie like this, and
I agree.
You should know.
But just know, like, we are not we are about to talk about things that happen the beginning, middle, and end of this movie.
Yeah.
And we will not hold back. We will tell you exactly what's going on. So if you haven't seen it, or if you've forgotten about it and don't want us to like spoil it again or whatever, shut up and understand that we are going to actually talk about everything that happens in this movie. That
Before you click off, subscribe.
Obviously, yeah. Subscribe and like, and leave a comment. But god damn, dude. All right, we'll try and make it a little bit clearer.
I will segue from that to what do you rate it?
Honestly, like I'll rate it like a 6. I just, I truly I don't know if I'll ever watch this movie again.
Really?
I get it. I got it. I've watched it.
Just too fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, not even fucked up. It was just, this is straight up. I understand like what he's doing. He is just showing what true, brutal. This is what specifically the Vietnam War looked like.
Yeah.
It was not fun.
No.
It was not funny. Like, sure, I guess there were like funny moments, but even the funny moments, like I was just thinking like, damn, like if this is actually like, if I was in Vietnam and I was stuck in Vietnam with these psychos around me, and it's not just, that they like enjoy killing people, like they enjoy like all the other dirty things about war.
Yeah, because it's only the things they say are only funny because it's fucked up for them to even be joking like that during the wartime.
Yeah.
So like the things they're saying, it's like a funny part that's not funny is whenever the first guy gets killed by the sniper. They're not sorry, not the first guy that gets killed by the sniper. Once the boss, whenever Cowboy becomes a general, I forget who dies.
Oh yeah.
Not the general, but whenever he becomes a lead of the platoon, when that first guy dies as a leader, he's like, Cowboy, you're the man now. You're the leader. He's like, congrats, bro.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, holy fuck, this guy's dying, like dead right in front of you. Your teammate, and you're like, congrats, bro. You're now the leader. You're the boss man.
Isn't that
now.
Awesome? Like you get to be where this guy just was.
Yeah.
Approximately 30 seconds ago.
Yeah. So it's
like they already gave up. So
it's like funny because you're like, damn, that's what they say to this.
Yeah, it's funny because we're on a couch and if we get too uncomfortable, we can just turn the TV off.
Yeah, right.
And so I mean, there's always just that to like understand. But I mean, holy shit, dude! Like like I said, I had no idea what I was getting myself into.
Yeah.
And so as I realized that this is not gonna have like a happy, you can tell pretty quickly.
Yeah. Both stories don't have a happy ending. Both stories end in like fucked up. You're like, damn.
Yeah, and I like that you're saying both stories because this is split in half pretty much.
Yeah,
like,
it's literally two different movies.
Yeah, basic training is clearly like the first. Yeah,
like the themes connect, but the stories are completely separate from each other. Like you don't need the first story for the second story. You don't need the second story for the first one. But when you look at them together, they do kind of have like a similar theme throughout them. So like they work together, but again, they're totally different stories.
Completely different. So I mean, I guess you could appreciate that. It was just because once basic training is over, yeah, that's when I was like, oh, okay, clearly this is not gonna have a happy ending. Yeah. I don't really know how you could with the Vietnam War movie because it didn't have a happy ending in general.
Yeah.
So I understood that. But just, pretty.
And it comes in at under 2 hours, but it feels much longer.
It feels like forever.
And I think because like honestly, you watch it, it's not slow, but it feels long. I think it's because there's just so much intense action, and it kind of like resembles, like you were talking about before, the war. It's like crazy. It's like a lot of shit happening. So it's like so intense the whole movie that it's like taxing to watch it. You're like, dude, holy shit.
There's no breaks. There's almost no comedic relief. I mean, even if you do get it, it's not even that funny.
Right. Yeah. It's like, like
they're just like, oh, like, oh God.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times did we look at each other and we're like, holy shit. Dude.
I like when something happened, I look over to you and you're like, wow. Okay. I'm like, yep.
A lot of, I mean, this is as brutally honest as a movie can be.
Yeah.
And I always got to, tip my cap to a director who chooses to go that route.
Like your 6 is not because it's not well made. Your 6 is because
simply because I just did not enjoy it that much.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I was like, holy shit. Like this, remember at one point they're talking about somebody's been in the field because they have the 1,000-yard long stare.
Yeah.
That's just, I think I had like the 500-yard long stare after just watching the movie, because I just like it ended, and I'm just sitting there
staring
like,
into the credits.
Because I got family members that were in the Vietnam War, and I'm just like, fuck, I get it's a movie, but I don't know.
Can't be that far off.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like this was pretty realistic. Seems like he went out of his way to show you how realistic this movie was, like what it looked like. So I got it. I appreciate it. I just, I'm not going to throw this on for family movie night.
Hell no.
That's just, I'm not doing
Maybe
that.
half of it.
Yeah,
The fucked up ending in the first story is like fucked up, but like it's not as fucked. You can handle it. It's like, okay,
I can handle it, but
dark story, but that was a cool story.
And I get, like some people just clearly like going back and watching it. It's because the guy that, kills the drill sergeant, Gomer Pyle.
Yeah.
Which even more fucked up for me because I grew up watching the Andy Griffith Show with my dad. So like I know
the reference.
I know what they're talking about. So to see Gomer Pyle shoot himself in the head.
Yeah, right.
That definitely does something for my innocence. But yeah. Like it's clear at the beginning, I just thought like, oh, this dude was probably some football player that doesn't really, it's just hard for him to take things serious.
Right.
Then
you realize
like, no, he had like he should not have been allowed to be there.
Yeah, why was he not discharged?
Yeah.
He should have been immediately selected like, oh, this guy can't be a Marine. A Marine, he could be maybe frontline troops, but a fucking Marine?
Yeah, they didn't do any kind of like aptitude test. And if they did, I mean...
They had been begging for troops, right? Getting people, like, trying to send as many people as they could.
I mean, I guess that's kind of what maybe that's the message.
Yeah.
He was like, they were letting anybody get like, and he almost passed.
Right.
He was at that.
No. He did pass.
Yeah, he was about to be a rifleman.
He graduated. He was infantry.
He was going infantry. Yeah, 0300.
Before we dive into it, I'll give it.
Sorry.
I'll give it an 8 because I do. It is a little hard to watch, but I do enjoy a lot of the film techniques he uses. I think it's a very well made movie, and I really appreciate it. Yeah. And I do actually enjoy the movie, at least the first half. The second half gets dark, but even still, I do enjoy watching it. So I give it an 8.
Yeah, fair enough.
And so going back to Private Pyle, his story's fucked up because he's like he starts off so innocent. He's just like, he's not a killer. Because you hear Joker in the beginning, he's voiceover talking about when they're all running, training. He's like, the Marines is filled with, or I guess the boot camp is filled with men that are phony badasses or like hard men. Something like that, where it's like it's either you're like a badass guy or you're just like trying to be a badass guy. And Private Pyle is neither one of those.
Yeah.
So he can't.
Does he say hijacked? Something like that? Like they're just hijacked as in like.
Yeah, like yeah.
I don't know. But yes, he's.
Because like, obviously, like we were saying, the instructor is trying to form these men into like killing machines. But at Private Pyle's core, he's not a killer. Yet, through all the torture and torment he's been given through this like impossible task for him to fulfill, he ends up flipping his entire core and becomes like a fucking killer. Like he actually becomes a killer. Like he gets brainwashed by the entire operation to like kill. Because you hear like once they beat him because he's fucked the whole crew and they're all pissed at him, like gonna give him a piece of his own medicine. They beat his ass with the soap bars, and then he flips that switch. You see in his eyes, like he's like so sad now. He's not even chanting anymore. He's just kind of like staring off in the distance. And through all those scenes when he's staring off, you hear the instructors talking about like, we're killers, we're trained killers. He's like bragging about some like a mass shooter from Austin, Texas who killed 12 people, bragging about, and he could do that because he's a Marine. And I'm gonna make you guys do the same thing. And then talks about the guy that killed JFK. Who's that?
Oh,
that Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah,
who said?
Well, I almost said John Wilkes Booth.
Yeah. That's who I was thinking when I said
Lee Harvey. He was a Marine too.
Yeah, probably. And so he's bragging about these men that aren't good people, but they're Marines because they can kill. They know how to kill.
Yeah.
So I'm going to teach you guys how to do the same thing. So hearing somebody that's getting fucked up in their brain, somebody's like bragging about killing. You guys are killers. They're chanting like, you have one job and that job is to kill. Yeah. They're like, yes, sir. Sorry, yes, sir. And so like now he's just like, the only way he knows how to get out of the situation is to kill. That's what he's been like brainwashed to do. It's so dark and twisted.
It is. And you could tell, I think with this character, he's probably his backstory is just kind of I think, typical back in that day. Society just did not know how to deal with somebody that was mentally challenged.
Yeah, somebody's a little slow. They just
So it's just kind of like, and he probably was just in a tough household, probably tough dad, and he probably thought he was like lazy or whatever. And he was like, I'll send you to the military and they'll whoop your ass into shape, and then then you'll be a good man, that kind of thing.
Yeah, right.
So that's what I think. That's kind of, at least that's how I would understand it to be.
Yeah,
he was probably like, okay, like I'll go to the military, like if that's what you want me to do, like, because he's not really capable of thinking for himself.
No, and
he's just not. And I mean, it's not a slight at all. I mean, they show it time and time again. He isn't even capable of like buttoning his shirt.
Right.
Remember? I mean, Joker at one point looks like he looks at him, and they're probably weeks into camp.
Because it cuts and Joker says something. He's like, "Man, you just keep fucking up over and over again." So time has probably passed. Where he's like, they've been punished so many times.
Yes, but right before that, I mean, they are about to go out and get on with the day of basic training. And Joker looks at him. He's like, "You look like shit, dude. Like, oh my God." Like, and everybody's already ready to go. And he completely dresses him. He buttons him down, gets the collar, like does the shirt. And he was doing so much that it was like, holy shit. Like, okay, like obviously this guy, he even tried to say, he was like, I think he's a Section 8.
Yeah.
Just, which I can only assume he's saying
like mental.
This guy, like this guy's lost it. I don't know if he lost it because of training or if he I don't think he was right in the head before, And he's saying like, dude, it's not that the drill sergeant's bad or that we're messing up. Like, he truly is incapable of doing this. He can't do this.
Yeah.
And it's a tough message because
it is.
It just shows like how desperate wartime can get. Especially back then when like you didn't know. They didn't know. Maybe they didn't know to look for it.
And because we know, it's like there's so many sad moments. Like I think the saddest moment from that first story is whenever when they do beat him with the soap and towels, and they all like get back in their bunks, and you hear Private Pyle like a little kid going like, "Ow, ow."
Mm-hmm.
He's not even like, "Oh fuck," like a man. He's like he's an innocent child in his head. Yeah, he's like, "Ow," like saying "ow," and Joker can't even hear it. He's like, "Fuck, dude, I can't believe we just did that."
Yeah. So again, just as far as enjoyment goes, like, yes, I enjoyed watching the drill sergeant flawlessly come up and improvise drill sergeant lines.
Yeah, because Stanley Kubrick's not known for letting people improv. He's like a Tarantino where like whatever the script says, you're going to fucking say that shit.
Yeah.
But
so I read that this was the first time he had let somebody improvise since some movie he did in like 1964.
Yeah.
Which is insane because this came out in what? Is this
87?
87. So like, damn, like over 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty incredible.
Almost 40 years.
Yeah. Wait, what? What did I say?
20? 87?
I'm talking about...
Oh, after the war.
No. Kubrick, like, he didn't let anybody improvise.
Oh, sorry, yes.
Since a movie he did in like 1964.
Right, sorry, yes.
So it's been like 20 years. And this dude... So I was just reading because I was like, who? Because I didn't really recognize, not many celebrities in this movie, which I read that Kubrick did on purpose. He did not want this to be like a well-recognized cast. Yeah, which is pretty cool.
Which goes to the symbolism of all the Marines aren't an individual. They're all just like faceless. Like you noticed too, I think I even read that he used a special lens so that way in most of the training shots, every single man's in focus. There's not like one person that stands out from the rest. So like the guy in the front does not stand out from the guy in the back.
Yeah.
They're all in focus because they're all one unit. Opening shot obviously shows that when they all shade their head, they all look the same.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even know these guys' backstories. They don't call them by their names.
Nothing.
So it's like, they're all one unit. So just like what you're saying.
No, and so I did like that a lot. Because that's a ballsy decision. That's a ballsy decision to make as a director. Because I saw that Bruce Willis was up for the part of Joker. And I can't remember if he said he turned it down or like if
Kubrick said
no.
no.
Or Kubrick actually just changed his mind. He was like, no. Like, I want to keep the integrity. Because So obviously, the drill sergeant is my favorite character. In the
Easily.
movie.
That's
Easily.
that's the best part of that. That's why I go back to watch the movie, is because the drill sergeant scenes are so funny.
It's just and it's so impressive. And so, what I just read up on is that his before this was like pretty much his like biggest role like in a movie. He was not like a well-known actor. I think he was in a movie before this, like like 10 years before this was made, and he was like a pilot or something. But so the drill sergeant, he was in Vietnam. He actually served in Vietnam. So he kind of, I think, obviously that would have helped. I even told you, I was like, he had to have been military.
Has to.
I mean,
Looks way too much like it.
Yeah, way too much. And just, I mean, he was just too good at the drill sergeant role, too quick with it.
Yeah.
But I guess his audition tape was that he sent it to Kubrick, and it was just 15 minutes straight of him just hurling insults at the camera, and he never repeated himself. And he had guys like pegging him with tennis balls, like the
just to
entire
show
time
that
he did,
I can do
just
it.
to show, like, you know, like, I'm good.
That's crazy.
And Kubrick saw it, and he was like, dude, instant, like, oh my god.
And
because you think about the way that he shot it, that's tough. Like, just have it. It's
because it's all long takes.
Yeah, just all this one long take of him just walking around the room and just picking out people, and that was it. And he didn't let the cast meet the drill sergeant.
Yep.
Which is awesome.
He didn't let him meet him. He didn't let him hang out with them, so that way they has that like authority over them.
I mean, that's what you have to do, though.
And on all those takes, that was the only character that whatever was written in the script, he didn't say. He was allowed to improv, and he's like, because he wasn't going to let him improv, but then when he showed up on set and was like doing it, he's like, holy fucking shit, do you, bro? I'm not going to direct you at all. Just fucking say say whatever you're going to say. Like, this is gold.
This is good, yeah. Because I guess he was interested in writing. Just, he wanted to actually write for that character himself. He wanted to, and then he was like, dude, fuck that. Like, you know, obviously this is authentic. You clearly have experience in this world.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure you're just regurgitating what your drill sergeant said, you know.
And you told me that, what scene was it that they had 30 takes?
The jelly donut scene.
Okay.
34 takes of the jelly donut scene.
But that's the only scene in the movie that he didn't have 2 or 3 takes. Like the rest of the movie, all Kubrick had him do was like 2 or 3 takes. He's like, we got it.
That's awesome.
We're good, because he just fucking nailed it every single time.
Yeah. The jelly donut scene. Why is it that I always see, like when it comes to food scenes, I mean, these actors are like, dude, I'm like dying over here.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's take after take after take.
Just eating so much food.
Yeah, because I just wondered, like, what did he see? Obviously I'd have to see cuts of it. Like what did he see in the other takes that just didn't do it for him? Was it just the way he ate the jelly donut?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or was it the insult at the time that he ate the jelly donut? Because I just feel bad for the actor.
You also wonder, too, because sometimes the director will make the actor do so many takes to, like, bring their will down, so that way their performance is, like, they're fucking tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
So that comes out in their performance, so, like, it brings whatever the director's trying to pull out of them out, like, by just forcing him. Because, like, you hear about The Shining, how Kubrick made the girl that was crying, the wife, he made her do the take, like, all day long. So, like, literally at the last final takes were the ones that made the movie, because she was so fucking drained. So she actually looked like she was going through hell, because literally on set she was going through hell, having to force herself to cry and cry and cry.
We think about in Heat, the Al Pacino scene, our favorite.
Yeah.
What was I think?
Great ass.
Yeah, I think like 70 takes on that.
Yeah.
And then finally Al Pacino just out of nowhere pulls something, and that director's like, I didn't know what I was looking for, but now I found it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that was it. So, but yeah, pretty tough. Shout out to that actor.
Which
Obviously, Gomer Pyle.
one? Yeah.
I don't know his name. I don't.
We can.
Scott.
Too early
Yeah.
for Scott.
But I was like, we've seen him in a lot of stuff since then. He was
Really?
actually, he was,
What else has he been in?
I've seen him in The Punisher.
Oh, yeah. He's Kingpin.
He's Kingpin. And then I've seen him in,
Vincent D'Onofrio?
yeah.
That
Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce his name though.
Yeah, he's been in Law and Order, Daredevil,
He's a scary,
Men in Black.
Very, Very scary guy. He's been in another movie that I really like.
The Magnificent Seven.
No, but that's a good one too.
That is a good one. Chris Pratt. That's a fun Western. New age Western.
He's been in this Chips.
Okay.
It's a very funny movie, but he's the villain in that. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen him. Not an A-lister by any means, but you can respect. I mean, he's made it to quite a few good roles, including this one is a insane one because I'm pretty sure that drill sergeant was actually slapping the shit out of him.
100%.
Yeah.
That gave you like Whiplash vibes. It's
Yeah.
like, "Psh, what side was that? Left. Psh, what side was that? Right, sir.
Yeah. But yeah, he was actually, I was reading, it said he was a bouncer at the time that he got this role.
Interesting.
Yeah. So pretty cool. And then he put on 70 pounds and he said that people were actually thinking, like at the time in real life, that he was mentally challenged. So he said that people would actually repeat themselves to him. They would
Like
tell him,
on set or just in general, like in life?
now that I don't know. I think it was in life though. I think he was saying like, yeah, like I gained 70 pounds.
He's like drunk Shane Gillis.
Oh, you know what? Had to have been on set because he was method acting.
Oh.
Yeah, he went the methodic route.
Yeah.
So he was, I guess, walking around set, kind of. Like,
Well, his
that was
performance
what
is
he's
so
doing.
great. Like he looks,
Yeah.
he never falters from looking like he's
Never.
special needs. Like
Yeah.
even whenever Joker's helping him out, he's like looking at him. I mean, like when he's following him, doing the gun scene,
Mhm.
his face is like he's like following like his dad or his mom, like teaching him how to do something. He's like proud of himself. He's like looking over, like smiling when he gets it right.
Yeah.
He's like playing like a little kid, pretty
Yeah.
much.
See, and I just did not pick that up until that scene. Until he started showing him the gun, I was like, dude, like, why are you just taking everything as a joke?
Can't help it. He doesn't even
man.
know what's going on.
Yeah, fuck. That's on me. I should have seen the signs.
And then you just get that evil shot of him when he's turned in the
Yeah,
bathroom at the final
dude,
scene, and just like
yeah.
that evil face, you see it just creeping through. You're like, fuck, dude, he's gone.
No, that's horrifying. That was
So
that was I'm sure that's like all he sent in his little audition tape.
Just that
was
face.
just that
Yeah.
face.
A 30-second clip of him just like,
Yeah, because that is horrifying.
so scary. But at the end of that scene, even in the face of death with the gun pointed at his chest, the drill instructor is still a bad motherfucker. He's like, you listen to me, motherfucker. You put that gun on the ground right now. Boom!
I think he even like gave him one last insult. I think the insult
he
was
did.
probably what sealed the deal because he talked about his parents.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, "Did your mommy and daddy like not
Give you enough
teach you-"
attention.
Yeah. And he was like, yeah, tough one to watch. Tough one. Like I said, he was like the only comedic relief. And then once I realized he was dead, I just immediately put it together. I was like, we're going to Vietnam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and him killing himself at the end of that scene, that kind of goes back to my point of him like switching who he was. Like he corrupted himself to become an evil person, and when he finally did the action of an evil person, of like a killer, that's just not who he is at his core. He's a sweet, innocent guy. When he does shoot him, it's almost like you can kind of infer that once he did that, he's like, damn, he like lost himself there. Then he just ends his life there because he just like can't even recognize himself anymore.
Yeah, can't handle it. He don't want to deal with those consequences. It's sad. It's sad. I mean, it's just sad.
It is so sad.
It's just sad. Yeah.
It loops you in so much because like the beginning you're having fun with the drill instructor making fun of him, and then again it just like corrupts down. You're like, fuck, dude, this movie's brutal.
Brutal.
But all right, first story, good. Obviously, that's the one everybody likes to watch. That's the one people remember. People don't really remember the second half of the movie because it's just so dark. You would just kind of want to forget it.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was at. I kind of found myself checking out, even though a lot's happening. But it's like, dude, like we are just not gonna catch a break here.
No,
I mean, they
never
are just
once.
gonna, even when they're actually, in the story, when like they're not fighting, like it's just. To me, I felt like that was when like the more messed up stuff was happening.
yeah, like the most fucked up. To me, maybe not the most fucked up scene, but the most fucked up like dialogue part was whenever they're finally flying into like that station to where Joker got transferred. Because we'll talk about this in a little bit, but like Joker's character is he doesn't take anything serious until like the end, once it starts to get real fucked up. So like, because he gets sent over to that place whenever he meets up with Cowboy finally and sees Animal Mother, and he gets transferred over there because the journalist guy, Joker's not taking anything serious. He's like, okay, Joker, I'm gonna send you over here then, motherfucker. You think this is funny?
Yeah.
I'll send you into the worst area right now so you can go like really see what you get. I'm gonna make you go earn your 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah.
And so he flies over to this other area, and when they're flying in the helicopter to that next station, the guy's just on the gun in the side of the helicopter, just mowing down innocent civilians that are just like in their farms, like
they're just in the
rice fields or whatever they're doing.
Yeah, they're just in the field, clearly not wanting to engage in the war.
No, he goes.
Oh my God!
If they run, they're Viet Cong or what is that? Is it Viet Cong the bad one?
Yeah.
Who they're killing anyway. They're the bad ones.
They're the bad guys.
Yeah, and he said, and if they stand still, they're just some brave bad guys.
I think he says like they're just smarter or something like that.
Yeah.
And he asks them like, well, like how do you kill the women and children? And what does he say?
Yeah, so he's like, he's talking about you should write a story about me because I'm the hardest, or like I'm the best there is. And he's like, I've killed 157 Viet Cong or whatever. And like even women and children. He goes, yep. How do you kill women and children? He goes, you just don't lead them as far because they don't run as fast. She's like, holy fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Just a kill. And then like the next scene, he's like, hey, sir. They're just like talking about, can you show me this and that? Like they're just chit chatting like it's nothing. Just like, you just forget it. Just forget the evils that are being occurred.
Yeah. I think Joker's such an interesting character to me because at the beginning, I really did think that he was like some kind of psycho. And I don't remember like hearing him joke. Like I don't remember him like having a sense of humor.
He just didn't take shit serious. Like when he's like doing the John Wayne impressions and he's like just poking fun at shit and just
I guess. Like, okay, I guess honestly I did forget about the John Wayne impression. So that's on me. So okay, that does happen. But then he gets promoted to squad leader. So he took it seriously. Like he was trying to help Gomer Pyle. Like he was trying to like let people know, like, dude, I think there's something wrong. He did not want to take part in the bar of soap beating.
Yeah, but
on Gomer Pyle, and he did, and
out for the peer pressure.
And I think that's like kind of done on purpose because once he finally makes it to Vietnam, like he's got a peace badge, and he doesn't acknowledge that he actually like is for peace. But then he's also got the helmet that says "Born to Kill."
Yeah,
but he really doesn't want to be in the shit.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think he takes himself serious or he takes the war seriously because he says he's like, I'm a killer, sir. I think he's just fucking around.
I think he's joking. Yeah.
And he has Born to Kill with the peace sign. Obviously, he's fucking around. They're like, why do you have that on? He's like, I don't know. I just like, you think it's funny? He's like, no, sir.
Like, not really. I don't know what I'm doing.
He's like the duality of man, the Jungian thing, sir.
Yeah. And just like, I think he's pretty lost too. And that's just it. And at one point, like when they're talking about the 1,000-yard stare, at one point, Joker does say, like, man, I'm ready to get in there. I'm ready to get in the shit.
And his partner really wants to get in the shit.
Yeah.
Is the photographer.
Mm-hmm.
He's excited every time we get the action. Like when he kills that lady, he's like happy about it. He's like, it's like, am I a fucking killer or a heartbreaker? Yeah. Come on, baby. It's like, dude, you just
good delivery of that line too. She's not even dead yet.
Yeah.
She was still alive at that point. But Joker says like, yeah, I'm just getting bored, blah, blah, blah. Then right after he says it, Base gets under attack and he's up there and the guy that he was saying that to, he's like, man, I hope they're just fucking with us because I really do not want to be in the shit right now.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not ready for this.
Yeah, I'm not ready.
But he's still smiling. Again, I think he's just fucking around the whole movie. He's like,
maybe.
So I think he's just saying like, hey guys, he's like, I hope they just fuck with us because I'm not ready. As he's got his gun pointed at the thing, but he's like smiling and guns him down.
Yeah. Maybe you're right. Because he does have his moments of humanity, I feel like.
Yeah. Especially at the end there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but his character is interesting because he doesn't take shit serious. And then as he gets further and further...
You would have thought that the wake-up call would have been when Gomer Pyle kills himself.
Right.
And he was standing right there like, I would not be joking around anymore.
No. And when he's at the table with the journalists and they're reading the headlines and he's the main guy is teaching them how to like fix their headlines to make it sound better. I think Joker knows that the war is kind of fucked up and he thinks it's funny the fact that they're just trying to make it sound better. Because like every time they do a new thing, he's like, oh yeah, that's a good one. So, he's like, I can't remember exactly what he says the line wise, but he's essentially just like kind of making fun of the fact that they're lightening up everything to make it sound better. Like when he tells him, I think it's his article, he didn't find any dead bodies or any confirmed kills, so he didn't write about it. He's like, just add that they killed an officer. People like to hear about reading a dead officer. He's like, why don't we make him a general? He's like, well, who the fuck cares? Like, if we're just making shit up, who cares?
Yeah.
That's when he's like, all right, motherfucker, go get your ass over to the next spot.
Yeah.
But so his doesn't take shit serious. And then he, says he's a killer, says he wants to be, wants to be in the shit. He's kind of stops. I guess he's a journalist that's just kind of like observing, and he'll probably write when he gets back to the base, I would assume, because you never see him with, like, obviously the photographer always has his camera out, but he's just out interviewing. Then he starts a fight. And the ending of it hits because he's not taking it serious and he wants to be a killer, and then he ends up just killing a scared girl by herself in a tower while she's dying, and it's just like a mercy shot.
Yeah,
like it's the
like
least honorable.
Yeah, it's killing a horse in pain, pretty much.
It's like the least honorable death. It's like, oh, so you want to be a killer? There you go, buddy.
And then obviously, the dark irony of wearing the helmet that says "Born to Kill."
Yeah.
But meanwhile, here's the thing. So he's got "Born to Kill" on his helmet, but then you meet Mother.
Animal Mother.
Yeah, Animal Mother, and his helmet is "I am become death."
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying when I'm talking about like how messed up I think war is, but like it's, I guess, kind of needed. Like there are people out there who truly like, they're just like, dude, like I just want to kill people.
Yeah. I mean, the one guy that's the one who had his dead soldier, his best friend, they told him it's his birthday and they told him to take a picture of him when they're at the base finally. He was the leader of the crew. And then he's talking about, he's like, do I think we need to be in Vietnam? Like, I don't, do we belong in Vietnam? He goes, I don't know, but I belong in Vietnam.
Yeah, like I do. Yeah.
And he's talking about when he's like, it kind of sucks when this is going to be over because we're not going to have anybody else to kill.
Yeah.
Like, they just want to fucking kill people.
Yeah. Like, when it's over and we have to go back home, like, man, like now we don't have anybody to kill. It's pretty messed up. That's why, this is kind of, Animal Mother is Joker's, I don't want to say alter ego, but it's like the worst guy that the Joker could meet, because Joker's got the Born to Kill, and then he meets a guy who says, I am become death.
And he's with the shits.
Yeah, and actually, like, this is what he wants to do, and that's why he must approach him. That's why Animal Mother approaches Joker and, like, presses him, because he's like,
you're a fucking tough guy, buddy. Yeah. You're born to kill.
And he's like, born to kill, huh? Like, I literally, like, I just got done mowing down. My squad leader has a dead dude right by him right now that you thought is
hanging out with.
Yeah, that you think has been asleep this whole time. He's like, that's a dead body. Just that kind of stuff. So it's like, you are not ready for this.
And Animal Mother and a lot of the crew there, they don't even see the Vietnamese people as like humans, really, because like even when the guy brings the Vietnamese guy brings over the prostitute with the crew, and they're like, they chalk him down to $5 for the girl to give him a blowjob or whatever. They're like just dragging it around like it's like a fleshlight or something, like it's a pocket pussy. They're like, hey, they're like trying to grab her. Yeah. It's like, no, I'm going first, buddy.
I know. Those scenes always like make me so like just those are always some pretty tough watches. Again, like just tough watching all this like the whole time.
It's like a small girl who knows that she's been forced into this like prostitution thing, and they're like just holding her by both arms, like trying to grab her.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm using her first. They're just gonna pass her around the crew just like it's nothing for $5.
Yeah. Yeah. Tough, man.
It's so fucked up.
War is tough.
So fucked up.
I hope. Sometimes I wonder though, like when I've seen movies like this, like, do I know any animal mothers in my own real life?
Probably. When they get into the cut, they come out.
You don't remember them from high school. They just disappeared. Like that's where they went.
Yep.
They went
off to war.
Yeah, they just went off to war. It's like, what have you been doing the past 18 years? Like, been waiting to go kill some fucking people.
Yeah. And again, like the photographer, he wanted so bad to kill. Because he was documenting it and never got to actually be in the action. He just got to like hear about it. So it became this like romanticized thing for him. And when he finally does kill, he's like a part of the crew finally. He's not just the photographer. He's like, I killed somebody, motherfuckers. I'm with y'all.
Yeah.
He's like excited for it.
I know. Which is a dark thought. Because you always think that maybe some people think that they want to be killers and then they do it. Or at least, just in this movie, like I was expecting for him to kill her and then, kind of give the reaction of like, what have I done? But no, this dude always knew that he wanted to kill people. And like that was a fact. Like he killed her and was ecstatic about it. He was like, I knew it. Like, this was just as awesome as I had hoped it would be.
His kill's a little bit easier for him to be excited about because he did protect when she was shooting. So it's like he did take out a threat when it was like a self-defense situation.
Yeah,
so like
he did save his boy.
Right. But Joker's kill is not honorable. Like maybe honorable because you're still killing like some girl that's scared and she's probably just there because she's like locked up in her city that's been fucking destroyed. So she's just like scared with the rifle, like, oh fuck, the enemy's here, I have to kill him.
Yeah, or somebody like invaded her farm and just put a gun in her hands, and because they heard that she was good at shooting.
Yeah,
because I mean, got to give it to the girl. Good shot.
Yeah, right. Yeah, honestly, yeah. She was either a really good shot or a really bad shot because she kept like winging him like in the foot, the leg. But again, she could have been like drawing him out like what they were thinking.
Yeah.
And Joker, he born to kill again, but whenever she starts shooting at him, he like drops his weapon. He's like freaking out like a pussy, and then you see her face, her face was scared, but now she has the upper hand. She's like got this mean face, like if she's like shooting this guy before she gets killed or gets shot and dropped to the ground. So like Joker, he has like the worst death of just like point blank killing that girl, and you even hear like the dudes in the squad, they're like, hardcore, man. They're like, holy shit, you just killed her like that?
Point blank. He's like, I mean,
he's like, oh fuck, is that not good? Is that the most fucked up thing y'all seen? Holy shit, am I like a bad guy?
Somebody just like, he just unlocked something new for all of them. They're like, holy shit, I gotta do that. I gotta, hurt somebody, wing them in the stomach, and just stare at them, and then just execute them. I mean, that looks awesome.
And then the ending is kind of like conflicting because when they run away, they're like singing chants, smiling, singing about Mickey Mouse.
I was so, I think, kind of checked out by that point because like it shows him with the helmet, born to kill, and it's like, all right, like I get it. It's a sick joke. Like he didn't actually think he was born to kill, but he did just kill somebody. So he's going to have to live with that. And then it just shows like all the other characters in this terrifying like red glow light, especially his buddy. He's got like the scariest shot where like literally just half his face is just pure red.
Yeah.
And then the other half is like black, and it's like, oh, he's officially like on the dark side.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, because they walk away, they're chanting about Mickey Mouse, and he's smiling. He's like, I'm just so glad to be alive in this fucked up area. So it's like, what does that mean? Like what's the message of it? What's the message of that? I haven't connected the dots to understand like why they're happy walking away. Of course he's happy to be alive, but like again, maybe it goes back to what he was saying about the duality of man, to where like you can do like some evil shit, but you can like also brush it off and just like be a happy guy that's just like joking and singing along with your buddies.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this movie's trying to show like how messed up war is, or more specifically like how messed up the men that fight in wars get. Because who knows? Maybe some of these guys were like decent human beings before they got shown how messed up things can get. And like, they probably just look at the world as some sick, dark joke, and they're just part of it.
Because some of the guys, when they're in the interview section, when the video team is interviewing the dudes, they're asking about Vietnam. They're like, no, I think it's whenever they're talking, Animal Mother's like I'm glad they just died for a good cause. He goes, oh yeah, what causes that? And they're like, freedom. And he's like, he has a good line where he's like, oh, if we're gonna just die for some words, then I'd rather my word be poontang.
Yeah.
He's like, who gives a, like, it's not freedom. You're just saying that. That's just a word you're using. Like, that's not actually what the fight is for. You're just saying it's for freedom.
Yeah, you got sucked into this by that propaganda. Like, because that, I think that is like the message that it's showing. I mean, the guy just spraying down civilians, like, that is what people were protesting. Because, I mean, obviously, the Vietnam War was very controversial. A lot of people were not happy that we were there. And in retrospect, we should not have been there.
There's literally no reason.
Yeah, hindsight 2020. Like, I know we can't like go back and change history, but like we shouldn't have been there. And it's just, but like this was showing like why, like how disgusting it was for us to be there. And I don't know. But I also think that there's some redemption in some of the soldiers that you see, because you also hear people kind of talking about like, yeah, I mean, things have gotten so bad here. And like there's some people that are trapped, they've been trapped in Vietnam for years, like we got to go save those guys now. You know, so like we're not happy that we're here, but like holy shit, like if you look around, you can see how many messed up people there are, like the animal mothers or the pilot that's killing civilians. Like you need guys like us to like at least put them on a leash.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
That's just, and it's always just going to be repeating itself. You're always going to have some bad eggs in the basket.
Yeah.
Just no matter what it is. It's just war is, you know, it's way more terrifying when a bad egg comes out of the basket because now he's got a gun in his hands.
Yeah. And like, this is going back to Joker, but him being the journalist, I guess he signed up for that role or something. I guess he got picked to be the journalist because he wrote in high school, or he either like signed up for it, whatever the reason why he became a journalist.
Yeah.
So like his whole role is just like he's trying to spin the narrative of what the war is, because it's the military's, you know, press, the military's journal. What's it called? What's like the Wall Street Journal called? Like a journal art.
An article?
No, like what's the company called?
Oh, I don't know.
The press? I don't know. There's a word. I can't think of it. Anyway, he signs up to be the military's press. And so like their whole job is to like essentially twist the darkness of what they're doing to make it better, make it sound better, get the public of America to like finally turn and like think that what's going on is like a good thing, make it seem like we're winning the war.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's just like, his character just fits that perfectly because he's like not taking it serious. His whole role is to try to make this not seem serious.
Yeah.
Then he gets in like the deepest shit and just like does the worst things.
Yep.
Dark movie. But it is a dark movie, but it's very beautifully shot.
Yes. I think this is an important movie.
Yeah.
Like I think I've already said my piece on that enough. Like I think movies like this are important for people to watch because you're not supposed to just enjoy every movie that you see. Sometimes you need to get hit with a little bit of truth.
Right.
And kind of see like how fucked up things really are.
Yeah.
With that being said, I've seen it. I get it.
Yeah.
I really don't know. Like maybe I'll show it to my son if he's ever thinking about the military. Like, all right, come watch this and Save It Private Ryan, and you know, just so you could see like how messed up things could get. Not saying that this will 100% happen, but like I don't know, it could. Like, think about it. Really think about it.
Yeah.
You want to be surrounded by, you know, just that kind of thing. So, I think these kinds of movies are important.
Yeah, these dark, twisted movies that kind of give you a slap in the face of the truth of like what was actually happening, how dark things can actually be when it's wartime.
Yeah. You're not always supposed to watch a movie and just walk away being like, wow, gee whiz, that sure was nice. Like sometimes you need to feel a little uncomfortable.
Yeah. Who was your favorite character? Kind of a dark thing to say, but who'd you like the best?
I mean, as fucked up as it is, well, no. Drill Sergeant, that's my guy.
Clearly. Yeah, I think that's everybody's favorite guy, probably. Soldier.
But Animal Mother.
Yeah, I like Animal Mother.
I hate that I like him, but you also have to respect a character like that being honest from the moment you meet him.
Right. Yeah, he is
like
always
he is a killer, and
he says it from the start.
Yeah, you just understand. Like all he wants to do is kill, and that's just what gets him going. But at the same time, he also don't want to see his teammates die.
Yeah.
So he is a good teammate. You just got to understand. You got to let him get his killing in.
Right. And it like that seems interesting too, because whenever Cowboy becomes the boss, I think he's like third or second in line. I think he's third in line because the first guy was the one that was shooting the people from the airplane. He was the captain. Because then he got killed by the explosion.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other guy became the captain. And then once he died, it became Cowboy. So now like the chain of command's falling. And so like people don't even respect him now because Animal Mother's like, no, fuck you. Come on, guys. We got to go save him. But he's ready to abandon ship. He's like, these guys are fucking toast. Like, we got to get the fuck out of here. It's like nobody's even respecting Cowboy in this moment. So Animal Mother's like the one badass guy. He's like, no, fuck that. We're going in. They're like, all right, fuck, I guess we're going in.
Yeah. And I'm conflicted because on one side, I'm thinking like, damn, can you imagine like, you know, Cowboy dies And then Animal Mother gets the call and says, like, all right, dude, like, actually, you're in charge now. And, like, so thinking if you're on that platoon and Animal Mother becomes your leader, like, I'm thinking, oh, God, like, that would suck. But at the same time, I think a lot of these guys have been in this shit for so long that they have probably accepted that they're just going to die. Like, that's it. So I just think that's something you see a lot in this
That's what
movie.
they taught him in the boot camp scenes. They were like, some of you aren't going to make it back. He says, and you won't live forever. He's like, but you die Marine.
Yeah.
And Marines live forever. So you live forever.
Yeah.
It was like, you guys are going to die. So, but.
Yeah. So it's one thing to like hear that. And then it's another thing to be in hell like that for, I mean, probably months.
Yeah.
And like every day you're seeing somebody that was standing beside you die. So it's like, well, it's just a matter of time. Like I'm clearly not going to survive.
And with the press being there, they're trying to spin the stories to be positive. So while you're there killing, doing bad things, the most badass guys that have killed the most people then become the superstars in the press. They're like making stories about them. Because like you see when the cameras come by, everybody's like,
hey, they'll make you famous.
Yeah.
You know, these guys will make you famous.
They're literally like, there's like shooting tanks, shooting guns in the distance, and like the camera's going by, and everybody's like, what's up?
What's up? Yeah.
They had like a little skit planned out where he's like, they're all saying what character they're going to play in this movie that they're filming. He's like, you know, the fucked up. We're like, who's going to play the Indians? Or like the Vietnamese people.
Vietnamese, yeah.
There's even a funny scene with Animal Mother in his interview where, because they've been saying the slur, you know, the Asian slur, and the whole movie, they never called anybody a Vietnam person. But whenever Animal Mother is talking, he's talking about the people he's killing, and he like kind of pauses, laughs, and then goes, you know, some of the Vietnamese soldiers. Because like he held back from saying it on camera. So it's like, Jesus Christ, bro. He like laughs about it. Just like all these characters are so fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Got any final thoughts?
No. I mean, that's a tough movie to just watch on a Monday.
Yeah, Monday afternoon.
Just that was kind of brutal.
Got some things to process.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna, when I go to sleep tonight, I'm gonna bring my dog in a little bit closer.
Yeah.
And just really appreciate what a good night's sleep actually is.
Dude,
something to be said for that with a movie like this.
Yeah, it's good. It's
like, I do remember, because I needed to eat a little bit in the middle of this movie, and I literally remember as I was eating, I was like, I should really appreciate food more.
Yeah. It's one of those movies that kind of makes you appreciate that you're not in that shit.
Yeah.
You haven't gotten turned into that person.
Yeah. Yeah. So those are my final thoughts, I suppose. I am going to appreciate my dinner a lot more tonight.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It hooks you in where you think it's going to be fun and like a good old fun war movie, and it just is like so dark.
Yeah. So dark.
Well, thank you guys for listening. We'll catch you next week on the Crown Cinema Podcast. Comment below your thoughts and what you think about Full Metal Jacket. If you like it, let us know what you rate it. Let us know if you agree with us on how fucked up it is. I would hope you do. But anyway, catch you next week. We're out.
Trying to buy my next meal. Seems all I do is drive. And when the boss man sends my next check in the mail, I'll have enough for closing time. And I've been cussing like a sailor since I ran out of weed. My tank is running.